Hello and welcome back to Ion Radio. I'm Ken.
I'm John.
And today we're bringing you another Star Wars Shatterpoint battle report. And John, we're bringing some new stuff to the table.
Yes, we have the rest of Wave 1 that we're going to be playing today. So I will be using the Hello There box set. So I have Obi-Wan and some brand new clones. And I'm also using the young Padawan Ahsoka model.
Looking forward to seeing that. On my side, I've got Count Dooku, his Magna droids, and Jango Fett. So that's from the Twice the Pride pack, I believe. And then we also have the Take Cover set that we're using for terrain. So a whole bunch of new stuff being thrown into this episode.
Big thank you to Atomic Mass Games for sending us these preview copies so we could get these battle reports out to you guys.
And we also want to shout out Games Plus and Mount Prospect, our local game store we pre-ordered all the Shatterpoint stuff from. And with that, we did get the Ahsoka Padawan early release. So thanks, guys.
Okay. Also, big shout out and thank you to all of our Patreon members. If you'd like to check that out, there's a link down below.
Now, let's take a look at both of our strike teams and then get right to the action.
Okay, so here we go. We've rolled off. I have become first player and started by deploying Obi-Wan and his clone troopers over here, and then Anakin Skywalker, his Padawan, and some clones over here.
On my side, I've got Count Dooku, his Magna Guards, and Jango, Asajj Ventress, the battle droids, and Kalani. We, of course, deployed these alternating like we're supposed to, but you don't want to see that. This is what you want to see. While we're talking about deployment, this battle mat is provided to us by Skirmish Mats. If you are interested in picking up this or one of their many different mats, check the link below, and don't forget to use our discount code, which will provide you with 10% off.
Okay, our objective is shifting priorities. We have drawn Steal the Secret Plans and have set up in this cross pattern.
There are a handful of ladders on the board. I've got them here, here, and here. John, what about your side?
This giant ladder here and a ladder right there.
All right, let's get to the first activation.
We are starting off with Clone Commander Cody. So having drawn Cody, I've decided I didn't want to go with him, so we use a force point to put him into reserve and draw the next card. The next card is Obi-Wan, and I'm going to be using Patience. Because I have a card already in reserve, I can choose to put that card on the top or bottom of my deck, which will be the bottom of my deck, and Obi-Wan goes into reserve. Lots of things happening, and then I draw another card, and it's Ahsoka. Padawan Ahsoka's race Ya is, her primary is, she can make a primary unit dash. So we're going to make Anakin dash. He's going to land himself right there. And then what she's going to do, she's going to spend a force point for She is Fearless, which allows her to do a jump. So she's going to jump over to here. Then we're going to be doing a Take Cover, which will allow us to do a shove, gain a hunker token, and then use that move point to move up. Then we're going to just take our move, and we're going to take over this point. End of the turn, Ahsoka will take control over this point, and Cody, who I decided not to move with, is just in range to take control over that point.
And on my side, battle droids and Magna Guards well, battle droids for sure, have control of this point.
This is the first turn, so the struggle tractor does not change.
On my side, first activation are the B1 battle droids. Here are the battle droids. We're going to make our move action. So both of them are going to kind of advance like so. So second action for battle droids. We're going to do an attack. They can attack at range 5. We are clearly within range 5 of Ahsoka Tano here up on the top of the gantry. So that's where I'm going to make my attack, starting with the one furthest behind. I will have 7 dice for the B1 battle droids, and Kalani's target concentrate all firepower ability comes into play, giving me an 8th die.
In Jarkai, Padawan Ahsoka has 5 defense dice. I have a hunker token, and I'm on terrain that's above you, so I get cover, so a grand total of 7 defense dice.
E5 blaster rifle for the battle droids changes my expertise into a hit.
I have 3 expertise, which gets changed into 2 blocks, and I get a jump. The 3 blocks will remove 3 of Ken's hits.
Leaves me with 3 successes for the combat tree. Okay, going down the combat tree, pretty simple. We're going to wind up getting 4 total damage. I can reposition that battle droid unit and Ahsoka gains an exposed. Reposition. I'm just going to move here to the ladder, which will put me up here on the gantry.
Ahsoka's going to do her jump, and she's going to jump just far enough away to remain within distance 2.
Second group of B1 battle droids attack Ahsoka. Here we go. We're going to get, once again, 7 dice for the attack.
Ahsoka is still with cover and hunker, will be doing 7 defense dice.
So, 2 expertise here becomes a single hit for the battle droids.
Ahsoka with 0 because of an exposed token is going to die.
5 successes going into Ahsoka. This will allow me to go through the complete tree. So, John, you will be taking 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. I can reposition. You will gain another exposed, and I get to do a shove. Shove Ahsoka back over here. And the battle droids will move forward with their part of the shove.
Ahsoka used Deflect, which, because of misses, will add 2 damage to the battle droids.
Alright, end of my activation. This group of B1 battle droids now controls this point. I don't believe anything else has changed, so I will gain 2 points on the struggle tracker.
And that one too.
Yeah, am I within that one?
Yeah.
So I've gained the 2 middle points here. I have 3 total, bringing the struggle tracker 3 towards me.
The next card for me to activate is Shatterpoint card. We're going to activate the 501st. The 501st will spend a force point to do defensive maneuver. That is, each character in this unit may do a dash, and then if they do a dash, they gain a hunker. So this guy is going to dash over to here to use that ladder. And this guy is going to dash right between Anakin like that. We'll be coming up on top of the building like so. We're going to now do a move maneuver. The guy on top of the bridge is going to move right to there. This guy underneath is going to take a move right to there. As the second action, they're both going to shoot. The 501st making their attacks. We're going to start with the guy down below, shooting up into the B1s with 7 attack dice.
Only 4 dice. 4 defense, no cover.
3 expertise becomes 1 hit.
And on my end, 1 expertise becomes nothing. So I've got 1 block, which will knock out 1 of your hits, John.
2, we get a pin and 2 damage on those droids.
So for protection, I get to remove 1 of those.
Second attack against the same droid, 7 dice.
Still 4 defense dice.
3 expertise. My expertise become 1 hit.
And once again, expertise becomes nothing over here. 2 blocks, take out 2 of your strikes.
I give you an additional pin, which immediately becomes a damage, and then 2 damage.
And still, because of protection, I will only take 2.
For control points, this guy's on the proper level, and so is this guy, claiming both of those. I have 3 moving the tracker back to the middle, both of us gaining a momentum.
Going into the next turn, I have Asajj Ventress. Asajj Ventress. First action is going to be an advance. So we're going to move towards the gantry here. Going to spend 1 force point for Dathomirian Dexterity, which allows me to do 2 jumps. Not quite at the point to where I can get on top, so we'll do the first one here. We're going to be up here. That did cost 2 force points. And since I'm up here, I'm going to go ahead and force push, so spend another 2 force points. So 4 spent this turn. I'm going to push this Clone Trooper 3, which will go straight down just on the other side of that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take cover, gaining a hunker token and stay right where I'm at. So the only thing that's changed now, I have regained control of this point, and I still control these 2, shifting 2 back on my side of the struggle tracker.
My next card in play is going to be the 212 Clone Troopers. The 212 are going to start off by using a force point to do defensive maneuver. The defensive maneuver allows them to do a dash and then gain a hunker. So this guy is going to dash over here to the ladder, and we'll move him up in a second. And this guy is going to dash to there, both of them gaining a hunker. This clone is going to come up to this vantage point up here. Now both of the clones are going to make a move. The guy on top is going to fly all the way across to that point, and the guy underneath is going to help maintain control of the bottom. We're going to start with this guy right over here, shooting across at those dirty clinker B1s. We get 6 attack dice. And before we go to do that attack, we're going to use the 501st to trigger coordinated fire strain on those battle droids. 6 attack dice.
Only 4 to defend. Ooh. That was what, expertise?
Okay, so the clone expertise will add 1 damage to the damage pool.
And my 1 block will take out a strike
So we're going to have 3. So that's going to be a total of 2 more damage, a pin, a shove, and an expose. I'm going to do the not take the shove. Not going to do it.
Okay. So because there is another pinned in there, and I'm already pinned, so I wind up suffering 1 damage, bringing me up to 6, and then we have a total of 3 in the pool. 1 goes away because I'm contesting a point, giving me a sum total of 8 damage now, and I have an exposed, a strained, and a pinned condition.
Second attack from the guy below, needing 1 damage on those B2, 6 attack dice going in.
Still 4 with the B1s.
Okay, 2 expertise become a crit and a damage added into the pool. And you have an expose.
So I've got 3 here. This would ordinarily be 1 block, but I'm exposed, so the condition goes away and I gain nothing.
Okay, so that's 4. That's the full tree. That will be a total of 6 damage, another pin, another expose, and a shove, which we will take. These battle droids are going to be plopped off the side. And this trooper is going to move forward.
So battle droids still have a pinned, strained, and exposed condition, and they're now wounded.
The clones take over this. I maintain control there, and on this one for 3, which will move it on to my side of the struggle track.
Back on the Separatist Alliance, I'm showing Kalani. Kalani's Roger Roger tactical ability will allow me to move some battle droids. They have to be within range 4, so that's going to be this Magna Guard and this B1 troop. The other group is too far away. So let's go ahead and dash those. We'll start with this group. They're going to wind up going back on top. And the Magna Guards here are going to dash towards the center. Kalani's going to take an advance action. That will bring him all the way to the ladder, and then he'll move up. And then I'm going to spend a force point for tactical network. This B1 troop will dash, gain a hunker, and we can remove the strained condition. And then my second action, I'm going to go ahead and attack. Range 5, we can go after the battle droids.
The clones?
The clones. All right, Kalani's going to make his attack. We're within range. I have 7 attack dice with an E5 blaster rifle.
So we're going to do ranged defense, which is 4. I have a hunker token because of Obi-Wan, even though I'm engaged, but you're wounded, so I would keep it anyway. And then I have cover because we're on different terrain pieces.
All right, Kalani's 2 expertise become a crit and 2 strikes. That's a lot.
All of mine get traded out for only 2 blocks. I have 3 total blocks, removing 3 hits from Ken's side, giving him 4.
Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go up the track, so we're going to go the first 3 normal, and then go up to the disarm. So we will have 2, 4, 6 total damage. I can shove, use an active ability, and you will gain a disarm token. So the first shove, John ignores because it's steadfast. I have no active abilities that I can use right now. And you gain the disarm token. Alright, so I have now gained, well, I don't gain any new spots, but I have control of these 2 tokens. Although I am contesting this point, John's on that level, I'm going to get nothing for it.
The next card to activate will be the 501st. Okay, so with the 501st, what we're going to do is we're going to do a take cover. So this guy's going to use this to jump back up onto this base. This guy is going to just slightly move, and then they're both going to shoot Kalani. Okay, so we're going to start down here with this 501st shooting up at Kalani. They're going to trigger the coordinated fire. Clones doing what they do best. And you're going to gain a pin token. Then we're going to make the ranged attack with 7 attack dice.
So 4 dice, ranged attack defense for Kalani.
Okay, then we're going to use for the first time Clone Commander's Cody's ability that says, bring it down, they're in range, this is a ranged attack, I can reroll 2 failures. Both into hits. 2 expertise will become 1 hit.
And my 2 expertise will become 1 block. My 2 blocks take out 2 of your strikes. You're left with 3, John.
We're going to just stay with a straight line. First, you're going to gain a pin, which becomes a damage because you already have 1. 2 damage, and then a strain. Now we're going to do a special maneuver with Padawan Ahsoka. After a Galactic Republic support unit within 3, which we are within 3, bam, makes an attack, she can do a jump. And then make a 5 dice melee attack against the same target with fits in range and line of sight. So let's see if I can get close enough. I think that's in...
You're clearly in melee range, John.
Okay.
That's actually a cool ability.
Yeah. This. So here's her 5 dice attack.
Kalani only rolls 3 for defense.
Ahsoka's expertise becomes 2 more hits.
Kalani's expertise becomes 1 block. My 2 blocks take 2 of your strikes.
Ahsoka gets then a total of 4. Here we go. So we're going to go on the lower side of Ahsoka's ability and then go up. So we're going to do a damage and a heal. We're going to be healing because we're in range of the 212 trooper. Off of him, a damage. Then we're going to do 2 more damage. I get a reposition. I'm choosing not to because I want to be able to keep healing that clone. And then we're going to give a strain, which is an automatic damage, and then 2 more heals off of that clone trooper, bringing them now to only 3.
So Kalani right now is at 7 of his 10 damage points. John, you still have another shot.
I do. This clone is going to then shoot at Kalani. 7 attack dice.
Four defense dice for Kalani.
I have no expertise.
1 on my side gives me a block. I will take 2 of your strikes out, but you still have a crit.
Okay, that will give you a pin, which is an automatic damage. I still maintain control over my 3 points, moving it 3 back to my side.
And my next activation will be a Shatterpoint card, so let's see what I do here. So with the Shatterpoint card, I have decided to activate the Magna Guards, because why not? We're going to do an advance move first. So this guy is going to, let's do this one first. He's going to go up to the ladder and jump up. Coming up over here, it's going to go right on top of the point. And this guy is going to advance underneath the gantry, or trying to get to the gantry. And since we're in melee distance of that clone trooper, let's try and take him out. Magna Guard droids are going to start with 6 dice for melee attack.
The clone troopers have 3 defense, plus they have a hunker token, and Obi-Wan says they can keep it in engagement and add a defense dice in melee. It's not going to help them, but it was a thought.
My 2 offensive expertise become 2 crits.
My 1 becomes 1 block, taking out the 1 block Ben has.
And I get to do 3 successes on the tree. So this is going to give you 5 damage. I get 2 shoves and a reposition.
The first shove does nothing.
Because of steadfast. Second shove, I'm just going to push you back. And I will move right here. And I'm not going to do anything reposition.
That gives me 5 damage. The unit becomes wounded.
So I have no attack with this guy. Everything's out of range. So end of the turn, I will now control that token. I have 3, bringing the struggle back onto my side of the track.
My next card is Anakin Skywalker. Anakin's gonna go, he's gonna start off by taking cover. Landing here, and then we'll be jumping up to the top of the building. Then we're going to spend a force point to force jump. And move us into engagement range of Asajj. Anakin's gonna have 7 attack dice. I'm staying in form 5 Shien.
Asajj Ventress Jarkai, 6 defense dice.
Anakin's 1 is gonna turn into a hit.
Asajj's 2 expertise becomes 2 blocks, and your crit now is a hit. I have 5, so I'm going to completely stop your attack.
How unfortunate.
Asajj Ventress is going to do the riposte. After a melee attack targeting her is resolved, I can use this ability. There was at least 1 failure. Anakin will suffer 2 damage.
I maintain 2 because Anakin can't figure out how to hit a broadside of a barn.
The next activation on my side, Magna Guards. Here we go with the Magna Guards. I'm going to start with the one at the bottom. We're going to do a move action, and I'm going to do an advance. We're going to wind up right here with this guy. And the other one is going to do an advance. He's going to drop down. We're not going to go the full range, but stay in melee of the 501st. So we're going to start with this Magna Trooper over here. He's going to attack the 501st. 6 dice for offense.
On defense, the clone troopers will be rolling 4 base plus a hunker token that Obi-Wan says can be an added dice.
Alright, my 2 expertise become 2 crits.
My 2 become 1 block. There's nothing for me to block.
So 3 go in. You'll wind up doing 2 shoves. You're going to gain a disarm and 5 damage. First one doesn't do anything. And I don't have to actually push you back the whole amount, do I?
Nope.
Shove you back to there. Second attack, the other Magna Guard. Now is going to go after the 501st. 6 attack dice once again. Expertise becomes a crit.
My expertise becomes a block. The block removes Ken's 2.
And we're going to wind up doing the exact same thing once again. So that will be 5 total damage, 2 shoves, and another disarm, which gives you another damage. First shove is ignored, but the second one will push you back. And then I'm going to go ahead and follow up. So this one goes to there. At the end of the Magna Guards, we are going to take control of this point. So I now have 4 of the 5, and I'm almost won the first struggle. John, back to you.
We're gonna go with Cody. He's going to use his tactics, which says those Magna Guards are in range 5. They are contesting an active point. They will take an expose. Then we're going to do a take cover. We're just slightly out of range, so we need to tap into it to move up. And land right there. We're going to take a combat action, and we're going to shoot across at Kalani. Rex's range is 6 attack dice.
Kalani, 4 defense dice.
I have no expertise.
Defensive expertise will become 1 block, so I'll take 2 of your strikes out.
Leaving me with 1, which will do 2 damage to you.
That 2 damage will wound Kalani.
So I don't gain any more. I messed up. Not thinking. I gain 2 and another momentum. Not that it matters.
Alright, I've got to pull the next Shatterpoint card. For me, it is Count Dooku. Count Dooku has a tactics. Leader of the Separatist army. So we can choose another allied Separatist Alliance character within 3. That's going to be Jango Fett. And they can do a dash along with Count Dooku. So Jango's going to move this way. Count Dooku is going to move this way. First action, Dooku's going to do a dash. Or not a dash, but a full move. I'm just going to put him right here. And then I will take cover, gaining a hunker token. I'm not actually going to move, we'll just end there. End of my activation, I'm going to gain 4 points. I have 4 control markers. That's enough for me to win the first struggle, and we go into struggle number 2.
We're going to be going into... We're going to need a new exit. And use the bottom side of the card. The roll for priority is down here. I have to use Obi-Wan Kenobi because he's in my reserve pile. Okay, Obi-Wan goes, and he doesn't really get to do much. He's just going to do a move. Lands me on this. We're going to take cover, not actually move, and take the hunker token. Obi-Wan claims this point, which is priority, and Jango Fett claims that point down there. And that gives me 2 because of the priority token.
Priority token stays right where it's at, and my final card of the deck is now Jango Fett. Jango Fett is going to start by focusing, and because my client is getting impatient, he may also make a jump. So his jump is going to land him over here. So Jango Fett is now going to go ahead and make an attack on Anakin. So we have to be at range 4, which we are. 6 dice normally to attack, plus 1 because of the focus, so 7 total.
Anakin has defense of 6 plus the hunker plus the terrain for a total of 8 dice.
And my 1 defensive expertise or offensive expertise becomes a crit.
My 2 becomes 2 blocks, and change your crit into a... then remove 3 of them.
So I only get 1 success. That's 2 damage to you, John.
Okay, Anakin's going to use Deflect. because you have a miss, doing 2 damage to you.
Alright, I gained nothing new out of this, but I still will get 1 point for the objective that I control. It stays on John's side, so I will gain 1 momentum.
The priority will shift down to here. I will draw the 501sts, and they seem like a good unit to try to activate. The 501st are going to go ahead and activate. They will get rid of all their damage, flip over to an injured, and get rid of the disarm as the token they get rid of. Then they're going to take cover. I have some strategy that I want to try to do. Gaining a hunker token. Now they're going to do a maneuver. This guy is going to land all the way back here. Now this guy on the top is going to maneuver himself so that he lands next to this point, and then he's going to use that ladder to go ahead and get myself onto that token. Sadly, Ken is still in range just of that token. This clone gains that priority, so I have 2 plus 1 for 3 total movement. Sadly, Ken is still in range with Django, just in range. Otherwise, I would have stolen all of them. So I move 3 toward my side.
It's a failure, so it moves back over to John's side. And I am going to show a Shatterpoint card. I'm going to burn a force, and we're going to draw a new one. B1 battle droids. So battle droids are gone from wounded to injured. We're going to get rid of the pinned token because I'd like to move them. And our first action is going to be an advance. So we're going to advance this set of troopers. Right there, good enough?
That's good enough for me.
Okay. Are we actually in melee here? I kind of want to back out of that.
We are in melee,
So-
but to get the token, you'll have to be in melee.
Yeah, alright. Then I guess we're going to stay in melee and try and knock out Obi-Wan here. This group of battle droids is going to go underneath the gantry and advance towards that lone clone trooper. Try and do something over here. Let's start this attack here. We are definitely at range. We are outside of melee. I got 7 attack dice at this clone trooper.
That's a lot of expertise. Okay, for the clones, I have range defense of 5, plus a hunker, plus that silly obstacles in the way.
So this is a veteran unit of battle droids because their 5 expertise will give me 3 hits here, John. They're very experienced.
My expertise, the 3, will convert over to 4 blocks to 3 hits.
I got nothing. So now this group of poor battle droids is going to attack Obi-Wan Kenobi. 5 dice at melee range.
Obi-Wan has 6. He has a hunker token, which he allows himself to gain a cover for, and he'll be defending with 7 dice.
So this group of battle droids, their expertise only becomes 1 strike.
Okay, Obi-Wan says 3 expertise becomes 2 blocks, and 1 of your crits becomes a miss.
I don't have any crits.
Obi-Wan blocks 3 to 2 hits.
And I do nothing. After doing absolutely nothing except for shooting blanks at John's forces, I will gain 1 point here because that's the only objective I control. I will gain 1 on the momentum because I'm staying on John's side of struggle tracker.
Priority will jump over to the one closest to Ken, and I draw a Shatterpoint card. Of course, we're going to go with Anakin Skywalker, and he's going to start off by spending a force to force jump. Ken, if you don't mind, move me. I want to stay outside of range of Jango Fett. So as close as I can get to it, we'll call it there, good. Now we're going to do a move action, and because I can go full out sprinting, Anakin's going to jump behind Jango Fett like that. Anakin is flipping over to Form 5 Gen Show, and he's going to be doing a full-blown attack into Jango Fett. 8 attack dice.
Force is strong with you, John. A lot of expertise. No failures. Let's see what Jango can do. 5 dice.
Anakin's 4 expertise will flip over to 3 criticals into the pool.
And the 3 defensive expertise become 3 dodges. I'll just take out the 2 regular strikes, John.
Leaving Anakin with 4. Okay, Anakin is going to go down on his path, and he's going to do a total of 7 damage, a strain, and a pin, which is exactly enough to wound Jango Fett. When Anakin wounds, this is where the fun begins. It's a secondary unit, so I get to move the struggle token 1 toward me, and I gain a momentum because of the wound. And I don't have to make his second attack, so we're going to call it there. That may have been the fastest struggle of all time. I'm going to take control of that point, because you have now no units on it.
Nope.
I have all of them, and that's going to move it 4 towards me, which would move it all the way to the 8.
That was some cinematic stuff there with Anakin, John.
So we're going to reset for the next struggle.
The third struggle is hack the security network. I get to choose, and it's either going this way or this way. We're going to go across and activate those points. And then the first one to go active is the middle one, right down here. First card I'm drawing is going to be Jango Fett. So here's Jango engaged with the 501st and Anakin. I'm going to take a focus action. Actually, before I do that, let's keep in mind he's wounded. He's going to become injured, and we're going to get rid of the strained token. I'm going to take a focus action. So after focus, my client is still impatient and getting more impatient, so he's going to go ahead and do a jump to get on top here and away from Anakin. Second action is going to be an advance, and Jango's going to move all the way over here so we can take control of that point. So I now have taken control of all 3 points. That will move me 3 in my direction, 4 because of the priority, and we go back to John.
Priority shifts over to here by Ventress. The next card to activate is Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is going to go ahead and do a move. He can only dash due to the fact that those droids are there. Landing there. And then we're going to spend a force point for... Hello there. And he's going to then jump all the way up to here. Hello there. And he gets 3 extra attack dice. Hello there.
Poor Jango Fett.
Jango Fett's just the beating stick of the Jedi. Okay, General Kenobi is in Form 4 at Turu. He gets 7 plus the 3 for the hello there for a total of 10 attack dice. Okay, so we're gonna coordinate fire with this trooper up to him and give Ken a pin token. Then we're going to make this 10 dice attack.
So I get 5 to defend.
Okay, my 3 expertise become a crit, and a hit.
One expertise will become 2 blocks, so I'm going to block out 5 of your hits.
That's all of my hits except for the crit. So that's going to be 2 damage and a shove. So Jango Fett is going to be shoved right down. Right there. And then Obi-Wan is going to advance to take up the real estate right next to that token. Obi-Wan secured this point here. Ken still has all of those. We move it 1 toward my side, and I gain a momentum.
Coming back onto my end here, let's see what the priority point is. It is going to stay where it's at with Asajj Ventress. And speaking of, I am going to activate Asajj. After thinking about it for a minute, I'm going to spend a force point to put Asajj Ventress into reserve. Next card comes up is Count Dooku. Count Dooku does have a tactics, leader of the Separatist army. He's going to choose Jango Fett, who's next to him, to go ahead and do a dash. He's within range 3, and then Dooku can also do a dash. Jango Fett will lose his pin token, and doesn't make one, and then Count Dooku will land at this ladder, and then be able to jump up on top next to Obi-Wan. For my first action, I'm going to go ahead and take a focus, and then I'm going to take an attack action going after Obi-Wan. So let's see what we have. Count Dooku is in Form 2 Wakashi. He's going to stay there. Gets 7 attack dice, plus 1 for the focus. 8 total.
Obi-Wan has 6 defense dice.
The 3 expertise will become 2 crits and 1 hit.
Obi-Wan's 1 expertise becomes a block and changes a crit into a failure.
To a failure? Wow.
My 4 blocks will block out all 4 of your hits, leaving you with 2 crits.
We're going to start at the top and work our way down. So Obi-Wan will get 3 damage, and I get to do a shove.
Can't shove him through it.
Can't shove him through it, and actually I don't think I can even... Yeah, you're going to stay right where you're at, and I'm just going to... Dooku's getting even closer. So I did not gain control of that point, but I do have control of these 2, which includes the priority, moving me 3 in my direction.
The priority token has shifted to the middle objective. We're going to go ahead and use Anakin Skywalker. Anakin's going to start off by moving. He's going to move under the bridge to about there. Then he's going to use a force point to jump, because we got to get closer. We're going to move into engagement range with those Magna Guards. Anakin Skywalker is going to be attacking this guy. And we're going to hit you with 8 dice in Form 5 Densho.
Magna Guard has 5 defense dice.
Okay, Anakin's 3 will become 2 crits.
And I lose these, and the exposed token goes away. So John, I only get to block for 1 strike.
Okay, that's going to be 7 damage and a strain. And then Anakin declares, I'm going to end this by spending 2 force points to make a second attack. I need, 3 damage?
Yeah.
Anakin whacking him again with 8 dice. Anakin's 2 expertise becomes 2 crits.
Alright, 1 expertise will become a block. I'll take out your 2 strikes, and you're still doing 3 hits.
Yeah, that's going to be another 7 damage and another strain.
So that will be a total of 8 damage. That will wound the Magna Guards.
With these units wounded, Anakin takes control of the primary. Obi-Wan controls that point. Asajj is still standing over there. I gain 3 toward my side. I gain a token because of wounding, or momentum token because of wounding the Magnet Guard, and then an additional 1 because it's still on Ken's side of the board.
This side here has the priority objective. Next card to be drawn is a Shatterpoint card. For the Shatterpoint card, I'm going to use Count Dooku. His tactic will allow me to move someone here. We're going to move Jango this time. Since he's no longer pinned, he can move, and we're just going to get real cozy with this clone trooper. Dooku himself will stay where he's at. And we're going to do 2 things. Our first action will be to focus, and our second one is to attack Obi-Wan yet again. So 7 dice plus the 8th one with a focus.
Obi-Wan defends with 6 dice.
My 4 expertise become 2 crits and a hit.
Obi-Wan's 3 expertise become 2 blocks, and 1 of your crits becomes a miss.
1 bit of failure. Wow.
And then my 4 will black out all your normal hits, leaving you with 3.
I'm going to do a diagonal attack from the top down to the bottom. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. A shove, which is going to do nothing, and you will gain an exposed. So after an unsuccessful attack on Obi-Wan, well, successful but not enough to wound him, I will get 1 point because I only can hold that objective. What's the next priority objective?
That's going to stay right where it's at by Obi-Wan. I'm going to reveal Commander Cody. We're going to spend my last remaining force point to put Commander Cody in reserve to draw the next card, which is Ahsoka. So, Padawan Ahsoka is going. She's going to get rid of her exposed and flip over to the injured side and also get rid of the hunker.
So because she's within range 3 of Jango Fett, he gets to do his special ability. Not so fast. I have to spend 2 force to do that. Roll 5 dice. You will suffer 3 damage.
Now Ahsoka is going to be doing a... also didn't note, she gets her Racia, but I want to leave my units where they are. And then we're going to go ahead and sprint our way over onto this point, engaging Ventress. I feel like we've been here and done this before.
Me too.
Ahsoka's going to attack with 7 attack dice.
Yeah, I'm 6 dice for an aggressive defense.
Ahsoka's 3 will convert over to 2 hits.
My 3 will convert into 2 blocks, and 1 of your crits becomes a hit. I've got 3 blocks, taking 3 of yours out, leaving you with 2.
Okay, we're going to start with a damage and a shove, and then I get another damage and a jump.
Straight back.
I'm bumping you there and off. And then I choose not to follow up, and I choose not to do anything else, so that's it. Okay, with Ahsoka shoving Ventress off, I gain control of this point, moving it 4 into the middle, and we both gain a momentum.
Primary objective point for this turn is going to stay where it's at, next to Obi-Wan. That's problematic. I'm going to use Asajj, who's currently in reserve, and see if she can do something with Ahsoka. Asajj Ventress, she is going to start by climbing up here, which we can easily do. We know we'll be able to make it. We're going to look at Ahsoka, and I'm going to do an attack. So 8 dice to start with Asajj.
Ahsoka rolls 5 defense dice.
My 2 expertise will become a strike and a crit.
My 3 expertise will be 2 blocks and a jump. My 3 will block out 3 of yours, giving you 5.
4.
4.
So I'm going to go along the top here of Jarkai. That will do a total of 6 damage. That will definitely wound Ahsoka. And then I can use an active ability. So then I'll use my ability for Force Push, which is going to shove Ahsoka 3...
It's not going to clear it.
No. So you'll go to the very end here, John. So Asajj was able to take control at this point, shoving Ahsoka off. I get 1 on the struggle for wounding her. And then we're sitting here working towards victory for the 3rd struggle.
You never guess where it stays.
Obi-Wan?
Yeah, stays with Obi-Wan. We're going to draw from the deck, and surprise, surprise, it is the 212th that will be activating. We're going to go with the 212th. They will get rid of all their tokens and damage and flip over to the injured side.
And because he's close enough, Jango Fett is going to say not so fast, make his attack. That's going to cost 2 force points because he's injured. 3 damage.
Then they're going to both take cover. This guy's going to take cover right on off of here. Down to so. And then they're going to both melee Jango Fett. These troopers have terrible melee, so they're 4. So we're going to do that twice. See what we get.
5 for defense.
No expertise.
And I'm going to get some blocks, but it's not going to matter. Your attack goes away.
Okay, now we're going to use the guy that's closer to Jango to do the same thing. Okay, my expertise becomes a damage.
And my expertise will become 2 blocks. That'll eliminate your blocks, but I at least you got 1 damage in there, John.
I maintain control of my 2 points. Ventress still has her point that she's been playing with the whole time. So I have a priority token, so I will gain 3.
See, for my turn, where the priority token shifts. Failure, it goes to the middle for a change. Something you very clearly control. And I have the Magna Guards coming into play. So Magna Guards will start. They're going to become injured and get rid of their strained token. And John, I'm going to go ahead and focus and make an attack. We're going to go after the 212 clone troopers on that point. So my first attack will be 7 dice. We'll start with this guy.
Against?
Let's go for that guy. 1 on the point.
I get to defend with 3 plus 1 because I have a hunker token, and Obi-Wan says I get a plus defense.
She'll run 5 down, so I only get 4. We'll go down the bottom path, so that's 1, 3, 5, 6 damage, so that's going to wound you. We get 3 shoves, and you will gain a disarm.
So you gain 2 shoves.
Right, because of steadfast?
Yep.
So we're just going to shove you. The second Magna Guard is going to go after Anakin Skywalker. So 6 dice.
Anakin rolls 5 defense dice.
Alright, so these will become 3 crits. You've got nothing you can do against that. So John, another 4. same path for 6 damage, 3 shoves. So the first shove is just going to push you back over here. I'll follow up. Second shove will put Anakin back here. And then the third shove will push him back here. I'm not going to follow up on the second or third. So the Magna Guards will now control the center point. That is the priority, plus that is 3. We're back on my side of the board. John, time for you to roll the priority objective.
Stays right there in the center. I use my last card in my deck, which is Commander Cody. Okay, Commander Cody is going to start off by triggering an expose down there on the Magna Guards with his "We've got a big problem," and it's right there. Then he's going to go ahead and make an attack against them. That's going to be 6 dice. And before we do that, we're going to take a focus. So I gain Sharpshooter 2. So we're going to roll in a grand total of 9 dice.
Five defense dice for the Magna Guards.
The 3 will turn into a crit and an automatic damage into the damage pool.
And my expertise goes away. I lose the exposed token. I will take 1 away with my blocks. 2, 3.
So that will be a total of 5 damage, a pin, and then a shove.
You jump down.
And we're gonna just move ourselves right down to there. Sadly, I can't control more than just the one, which will move us into the middle, giving us both a momentum.
And let's see what the primary objective is this turn. We go back to Obi-Wan. And my final card is Kalani. He's got some tactics. He is wounded, so let's see what happens. So we're going to start with Kalani's tactics. The only thing I can potentially dash here is going to be the Magna Droids. Magna Guards don't need to do that. I'm going to leave them where they're at. So we're going to go right into my actions. The first one is going to be a focused, and the second one is going to be attack Obi-Wan. It's a range of 5. We do have that, so here we go with the attack. Range attack starts with 7, plus 1 for focus. 8 dice.
Here we go, Obi-Wan, 6 defense dice.
My 2 expertise becomes a crit and 2 more strikes.
And Obi-Wan is exposed.
So you'll take 2 of my strikes away with your blocks, leaving me with 2, 4, 6, 7. I go through the whole pile. So I'm going to wind up doing 8 damage. I can do a shove, which does nothing. So, alright, with Obi-Wan, he's now injured. We're going to be able to end the game right here. So, with Obi-Wan injured, Dooku's here. I will gain control of this. I now have control of all 4 points. And that brings the struggle firmly into my grasp. Separatists will win the 3rd struggle, and thus the game. Okay, we're done, and that was a little longer than I was expecting it to be.
Woo! 3 of the struggles, and the second one was a blur.
Yeah,
It went by
something
so
happened.
fast.
I won the first struggle. Something happened real fast, and you wound up winning the second struggle. And then we moved into the third, which was, again, a tug of war, going back and forth.
It really came down to Magars are crazy powerful.
The ability for them when they get any kind of expertise, pretty much gives them crits, is mean and nasty.
I mean, you got like enough expertise almost every single time. It was here's 4 crits.
Right, well,
there's nothing you can do on defense for it.
Even with 2 dice, I think it was 2 or a crit and 2 hits or something. It's a lot of damage with the expertise, almost to the point to where getting crits and strikes normally is the worst thing for Magna Droids, best for the opponent facing the Magna Droids.
Yeah.
There was one standout moment to me, but John, if you've got some thoughts on these new things, I'll let you do that first.
You mean it wasn't just the Magna Guards beating me over the head at repetitive?
I mean, that was fun. I enjoyed that. But no, that strike Anakin.
Yeah, Anakin jumping over and wounding Jango Fett to gain control for that point was pretty impressive. It seemed like an Anakin thing to do.
It really did. That was... I was enjoying watching that happen because we looked at it and I said, John, I think if you can knock out Jango, you'll capture the point and win the struggle.
Yep.
So almost, that's why it was a blur. It's because Anakin just zipped in with the lightsaber.
Anakin gains a point just for doing that because it was a secondary unit, and it was just goes by very, very fast.
It was a really cool thing. I got to use Jango's shoot it at the opponent activation once. That was kind of cool.
Twice in a matter
Twice,
of
yeah,
times.
it did. I'll let you talk first, and then I'll throw in what I'm thinking about Shatterpoint in general.
It becomes really dicey. I feel like I had a lot of misses on a lot of attacks and a lot of defenses, which just meant like Ahsoka jumped in, did nothing, died. Then I got to activate Ahsoka, jump in, did nothing, died again, and it felt like, what a waste of a character slot for little Ahsoka. She's not very good. But it could also just be dice. Like, she could be really good with that. And it's also really important, like, it's hard when you're recording and playing units for the first time to get all their triggers right. And I know in that first struggle, I missed a lot of triggers on a lot of things, like re-rolling dice with Cody, Ahsoka being able to move and whack something. Like, I did it once, but she could have done it a lot of times.
That's actually what I wanted to touch on, was with Shatterpoint, one of the things I love about the game, it's you have your main unit, and there are not 12 upgrade cards to go along with it. You can't customize it. However, there are so many abilities on some of the cards, and you have to really read them and carefully get the triggers. And is this only when I'm attacking, when I'm defending? How does this work? Do I have to spend force? Am I injured? And a lot of that requires a lot of extra thought. Now, if you're playing the list a lot, it's second nature, no problem. But like you said, this is the first time we got the 2 new squads and Ahsoka to the table. Lot to really be thinking about. So I'm sure as we move on, some of this will become second nature. But as new things come out, you're playing with new combos. And how does that impact what you're currently playing with your squad? So that's kind of like the one thing. But again, it rewards repeated play. So, the more you play, the better you're going to get at certain units.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So, big shout out and thank you to Atomic Mass Games for sending us these preview copies so we could show you guys what the game looks like. We also have a link down below that you guys can click on. It'll take you to Atomic Mass Games site to see how to build units, see all the previews, because there's a lot of previews coming out with new units, and game rules and updates and FAQs, which they have been releasing.
And we want to do a quick shout out to all of our Patreon members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. Your support kind of helps with new models and terrain. So if you guys at home are interested in enjoying those rigs, check the link down below.
Okay, until next time, I'm John.
I'm Ken.
And this is Ion Radio.